In ancient classical Greek, their word, which is the etymological root for our word electricity and electrical and all that stuff, actually meant something. Usually it was a piece of amber that you could rub, which produces an attractive force. It's the same classical Greek word for a golden retriever, apparently. And lightning frequency on the surface of the earth is about 50 times per second, which means nearly 10,000 strikes since I've been up here. It is an electrical planet. We get about 1.5 billion flashes per year. The average duration is about 1/5 of a second, and it's made up of a bunch of shorter flashes and strokes from about 60 to 70 microseconds. There's a massive flow of electrical current through the atmosphere, and the return stroke apparently is what rapidly superheats the air along the leader channel, and it forms a highly electrically conductive plasma channel. I don't know what that means. That was on Wikipedia. It sounds very impressive. My research doctorate work is in like poetry and philosophy and painting and theology and stuff. So thank you, Wikipedia, the encyclopedia that any idiot can edit. But the temperature can hit 90,000 degrees, right? Like Santa Clarita in August when we start school, right? And you get this kind of glowing gas effect, and because of that rapid heating and cooling, you get this powerful shock wave, which is heard as thunder. It's an instantaneous, unforgettable demonstration of the logical structure known as cause and effect. Everyone sees it over and over and over, right? Every effect has a cause. Some causes are very powerful and can kill you. Every effect has a cause. Some causes are very powerful and can kill you. Now, I'm going to relate what I'm going to talk to you about today to two of perhaps the last passages in Scripture that you might think would be relevant, and they come from Genesis chapter 4 and Acts 17. So, in the ancient world, people were fascinated not only by the night sky and various terrestrial phenomena, but also by lightning. They wondered, what is it? They were afraid of it. They saw it as fearsome and beautiful and bright and extremely dangerous, right? There are references all over the ancient world in all the different kinds of literary and other texts to lightning and lightning strikes. Everyone loved to watch it. When I used to teach at the University of Alabama, my sons and I would sit in our carport and we would watch the lightning storms coming in from the northwest. And we would listen for the tornado coming oftentimes behind it. Everyone loves to watch lightning. Everyone knows to stay away from fields and from water and from very high places. Everyone with common sense. After 43 years of climbing, I no longer belong in that category. The Renaissance, which is the period that I study, they didn't have business cards. They had medals. So you would get a bronze artist to strike a medal for you, like a coin. And this was the medal of Leon Battista Alberti. He's one of the many, many Renaissance geniuses based in the city of Florence, where we run the TMU Italy program. I run that program there because the Florentines know it as Culla del Rinascimento. It is the cradle of the Renaissance, and the Renaissance is the birthplace of the modern world. As a matter of fact, some of the thinkers that heavily influenced the Reformation, particularly in English, I'm getting a little bit of Cranberry in here today, were Florentines who were humanist scholars who studied the Bible in Greek, the New Testament in Greek, and then went reformed and found out that doesn't work in Italy in the 1400s, and went up into places like Oxford University and England. And so Leon Battista Alberti was a mathematician, a geometer, a painter, a sculptor, an architect, a designer. He was one of these guys that majored in everything. Right? And because he was a cool guy and he was Italian, he had to have a little medal, and that was a business card. You'd meet Leon, he'd, hey, oh, I'm Leon, oh yeah, I'm Michelangelo, and you would trade your medals off, right? They weren't this big, they were about that big, and there are people who collect these kinds of things even today. And Alberti, among many other things, was the guy that figured out mathematical and geometric basis for what we call perspective. He wrote a book called Della Perspettiva on perspective. He wrote another one called Della Pittura on painting, another one called Della Architettura. You can probably figure out what that is. And he's the guy that figured out how to take a flat two-dimensional plane and draw on it mathematically and paint it so that it looked three-dimensional. So he didn't look like those medieval paintings where you've got 12 guys on a boat that wouldn't hold one baby and they're all taller than the mast, but the boat's not tipping over or sinking, right? He figured out how to make it look real, how to make the eye see in a two-dimensional plane what you would actually see in three-dimensional reality. They had just never really figured that out before, and it was based on math. Painting is a form, really, of technology.